Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to do a little update. I got some more information on a subject, and it slightly changed my opinion on something. There's a lot of talk. In fact, Ohio looks like it is going to arm teachers with 24 hours worth of training. Now, those who supported this idea, I've always written them off as just not understanding that most people aren't proficient, that most people don't have that mindset. And that's always what I thought it was, because anybody I've ever known who advocated this, they were shooters. These are guys in the days when, they're feeling lucky. They got the target out at 20 yards and they got their kid sitting in a chair at 10 yards, popping off rounds right over their head and everything. No, nobody's really doing that because that's insane. But these are people that most times would hit the 9 or 10 ring. They're shooters. So I just always chalked it up to not understanding that wasn't everybody. But this weird thing happened. There's a local deputy, and he is he's a pretty well-respected guy. I don't actually know him, but I've seen him deal with people, and he's Andy Griffith. He is the king of de-escalation. This is the guy that walks into the bar in the middle of a fight, and he's like, Jerry, you better put that pool cue down. Look at y'all in here fighting over a $20 bet. Now all of y'all got to post $200 bond. Y'all better sit down before y'all get in more trouble. And this is the kind of cop he is. Now, he's probably more likely to get away with that because word in town is that he was MARSOC before MARSOC existed. He was Marine Special Operations. So people are probably a lot less likely to test him, So, there was a group of guys, picture them just like the group from King of the Hill. And they're at a diner, and they're talking about this idea. And he's leaving the diner, and they ask him about it. And he says it won't work, that it's a bad idea. And they kind of explain how it would work, and I'm not going to say exactly what he said. He's a Marine. It was a colorful way to say you are incredibly uneducated people. And he walked off. And this is a guy that is just known for being super polite. This hurt their feelings. So much so that hours later they were still talking about it, which is when I hear about it. So it got me curious. And I asked him, how do you see this working? It's simple. You put the kids up against the wall, out of the line of sight of the door, and the teacher just stands there at the door. And I wait. I wait for the rest of it because there has to be more. That can't be it. But nothing else comes. That's the entirety of what they're talking about. And I got to be honest. In that situation, yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot of training. It really doesn't. I mean, standing at a door frame waiting for a contact shot, yeah, you could teach that in 3 days. You really could. You don't even need a gun for that. You could use those long scissors, the ones they're silver with the black handles. You don't even need a firearm to pull this off. That makes sense. And if you're nodding your head, and this is what you're imagining, this is the scenario you have pictured, I have questions. First, does the teacher still teach? Or is the teacher posted up by the door all the time? Why are the kids hid? Why is the teacher by the door? More pointedly, what happened in the first classroom? The one that serves as an alarm for everybody else. Things don't go that well there, do they? Because in that classroom, Miss Jones is bent over a desk helping your child learn to read when somebody walks in. And she has milliseconds to pull that weapon, flip the safety off, get a sight picture, and fire over the heads of scattering, screaming children. Miss Jones does not win that engagement because the shooter has speed, surprise, and violence of action. This is why it's so important for cops to press when they enter. They have to rob the shooter of the initiative. Otherwise, they continue about what they're doing. That's why that's so important. The reason you get pushback from people who may have fired inside buildings in situations like that, because what you are describing there is just as crazy as having your kid sit between you and the target. It doesn't make sense, and you don't win. This doesn't actually stop anything. It just reinforces what's already happening. It reinforces the locked doors. Sure, but it doesn't stop the problem. They just now serve as an alarm. That's not winning. That's not changing anything. The scenario you have constructed is a fantasy that begins after the bad part happened. It doesn't actually stop it. This isn't a solution. So if it doesn't stop the actual problem, but it introduces more firearms to a school that could be taken, lost, accidentally or negligently discharged, is it really a net win? Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.